Blueberries have earned their place in nearly every conversation about health. They've been labeled a superfood, praised for their dense concentration of antioxidants, and linked to benefits ranging from improved brain health to reduced inflammation. Rich in anthocyanins, these small berries protect blood vessels, support memory, and combat oxidative stress at the cellular level. But what if this very food, so widely celebrated, could become harmful depending on what you eat with it? It's a surprising truth. Certain food combinations can turn healing into harm. Blueberries are powerful, yes, but they are also delicate. Their nutrients interact with other compounds in ways that either unlock their potential or mute it entirely. In some cases, these interactions can even produce new compounds that tax your liver, confuse your hormones, or create metabolic friction, especially in older adults, where gut permeability, enzyme levels, and hormone rhythms are already more vulnerable. This is not fear-mongering, this is physiology. When we think of food, we often think in isolation. Blueberries are good for you, we say, as if the body processes them alone in a sterile chamber. But food doesn't work that way. Every meal is a chemical dialogue. Each bite begins a cascade of interactions between nutrients, enzymes, hormones, and microbiota. And these interactions determine what your body can absorb, how your organs respond, and whether inflammation rises or settles. This becomes even more important after the age of 60. At this stage in life, digestion slows, stomach acid is often reduced, pancreatic enzymes may not be released in the same concentrations, gut flora shifts, hormones fluctuate, and because the body's internal filters, like the liver and kidneys, have endured decades of wear, what you eat together matters more than ever. A food that nourishes in isolation may become problematic in combination. Take blueberries. On their own, they are potent allies, quenching free radicals, lowering blood pressure, even influencing genes involved in aging and brain repair. But when combined with certain common ingredients like artificial sweeteners, dairy, or iron-heavy meals, their benefits don't just disappear, they can reverse. Instead of reducing inflammation, they may contribute to it. Instead of calming oxidative stress, they may amplify it. This is not about demonizing specific foods. It's about understanding context, just as a drug must be taken with awareness of what else is in the system. Foods, especially bioactive ones like blueberries, must be respected for their interactions. So the question isn't, are blueberries good or bad? The question is, what else is on your plate when you eat them? Because for seniors, where sleep, hormone balance, memory, and immune strength are already compromised, the answer can mean the difference between healing and harm. It can mean the difference between preserving your cognitive edge and slowly dulling it, between promoting hormonal balance or unknowingly disrupting it, between eating for vitality or eating in vain. This conversation is long overdue, and in the next few minutes, you'll discover the 3 most common food pairings that quietly undermine the healing power of blueberries. Combinations that many well-meaning, health-conscious individuals, especially seniors, consume every single day. You'll learn what the science reveals about these interactions, how they affect your body's natural rhythms, and what you can do to unlock the full potential of this remarkable fruit. Because blueberries are still a superfood, but only if you let them be. At 60, the body doesn't stop working, it starts working differently. Metabolism shifts, the gut becomes more selective, enzymatic activity changes. What once felt effortless now requires more attention. And nowhere is this more evident than in how your body processes food. In youth, digestion is forgiving. Nutrients are absorbed efficiently, hormones are balanced by robust internal rhythms, and minor dietary mishaps are quickly corrected by resilient systems. But after 60, the body's margin for error narrows. Meals no longer simply nourish, they negotiate. Every combination of food becomes a quiet conversation between aging organs, fluctuating hormones, and an immune system trying to stay calm. The gastrointestinal tract is one of the most important and most overlooked systems affected by aging. After 60, gastric acid often declines, making it harder to break down proteins and absorb key minerals. The pancreas may not release enzymes as efficiently, slowing digestion. The gut lining, if inflamed or weakened, allows unwanted particles to slip into the bloodstream, activating low-grade systemic inflammation, what scientists now call inflammation. This inflammation doesn't stay in the gut. It touches everything: cognition, joint health, immune defense, even sleep regulation. And this is why how you combine foods matters so profoundly at this stage of life. It's not just about individual foods being good or bad, it's about how their chemical profiles interact and what those interactions demand from your already shifting biology. Hormones, too, are part of this story. After 60, melatonin production naturally declines, leading to poor sleep and weaker circadian regulation. Cortisol rhythms, often flattened by chronic stress or inflammation, no longer dip in the evening as they should, leading to restless nights, weight gain, and mental fog. These hormones are deeply sensitive to what you eat. Certain combinations of foods, especially those that elevate blood sugar unpredictably or trigger immune responses, can push cortisol higher, mute melatonin, and confuse your biological clock. So what does this have to do with blueberries? Blueberries are powerful tools. They contain polyphenols that reduce inflammation, promote brain neurotrophic factor, BDNF, and support vascular health. But these compounds must first survive digestion, be absorbed, and reach their targets. If they are neutralized by dairy proteins, blocked by mineral competition, or damaged by synthetic chemicals, common interactions in the modern senior's diet, they cannot do their job. Imagine applying a healing ointment and then immediately washing it off. That's what happens when blueberries are consumed with the wrong companions. Their active compounds are wiped away before they can benefit you. Seniors, more than any age group, must approach food with awareness of synergy, not out of fear, but out of respect for a body that now requires smarter input. This is not a limitation, it's an invitation. An invitation to treat every meal as a chance to either fuel healing or suppress it, an opportunity to listen more deeply to how your body responds, not just to what you eat, but to what you eat together. Because after 60, food becomes more than fuel. It becomes strategy. And when used well, it can reawaken systems that have gone quiet. It can lower inflammation, stabilize hormones, deepen sleep, and protect the brain. In the next section, we'll explore the first and most common mistake, the sweetener trap, a seemingly innocent habit that silently disarms the power of blueberries and raises risk in the aging body. Let's take a closer look. It often begins with the best intentions. A health-conscious senior wakes up, pours a bowl of oatmeal, sprinkles a handful of blueberries, and adds a splash of sweetness, perhaps from a little yellow packet, a sugar-free syrup, or a zero-calorie drop. It feels smart, it tastes good, it seems like a responsible way to start the day. But beneath that innocent pairing lies a chemical contradiction that can sabotage the very benefits you're reaching for. Artificial sweeteners like sucralose, aspartame, saccharin, and acsulfame potassium are among the most widely used food additives in the world. Marketed as weight-friendly and diabetic-safe, they appear in everything from diet yogurt to protein powders, granola bars, teas, and even multivitamins. But when paired with antioxidant-rich foods like blueberries, these synthetic compounds don't just coexist, they interfere. To understand why, we have to look inside the gut. Blueberries are rich in polyphenols, plant compounds with potent antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. These compounds don't act alone. They require a healthy gut microbiome to activate, convert, and deliver them into the bloodstream. But artificial sweeteners, especially sucralose and aspartame, have been shown in multiple studies to disrupt microbial balance. They reduce the diversity of gut flora and promote the growth of opportunistic bacteria that thrive in inflammatory conditions. In seniors, where gut resilience is already weakened, this disruption has a magnified effect. With fewer beneficial bacteria, polyphenols from blueberries may be poorly absorbed, partially degraded, or even rendered inactive. In some cases, sweetener-reduced gut changes can convert polyphenols into pro-oxidants, compounds that do the opposite of what blueberries are supposed to do. They generate oxidative stress, rather than neutralizing it. The brain is not spared from this interaction. Research has found that artificial sweeteners can alter the blood-brain barrier, increase excitotoxicity, and interfere with neurotransmitter balance. In aging individuals where the brain's protective systems are already under strain, this can contribute to cognitive fatigue, memory lapses, and even anxiety. Combine this with disrupted polyphenol activity from blueberries, and the net result is not healing, but harm. There is also a hormonal consequence. Sweeteners have been shown to affect insulin signaling, even in the absence of calories. In some people, they can spike insulin response simply by triggering sweet taste receptors in the gut, which then signal the pancreas preemptively. This false alarm over time creates insulin confusion, where the body becomes less responsive to its own regulatory mechanisms. For seniors struggling with insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, or weight gain, this can compound the very problems blueberries are supposed to help correct. And the irony is painful. The person reaching for this combination is trying to do everything right. They've chosen blueberries to protect their brain, to improve circulation, to support their aging body, but they've unknowingly paired them with a chemical that disarms those benefits at every level. The fix, however, is simple. If sweetness is desired, turn to nature. A teaspoon of raw honey, a dash of real maple syrup, or a touch of whole fruit like banana or dates can enhance flavor without harming gut flora. For those who must manage blood sugar tightly, a high-quality plant-derived sweetener like stevia in its unprocessed form or monk fruit may be used in moderation. These options are less disruptive and more compatible with the microbiome's delicate balance. Blueberries should be honored for what they are, nature's medicine in a small blue package. But like all powerful tools, they require the right context. When eaten alone or with compatible foods, they reduce inflammation, sharpen the mind, and protect the heart. But when swallowed with synthetic chemicals, they lose their voice. And for seniors who are already navigating the terrain of hormonal shifts, cognitive vulnerability, and digestive sensitivity, this difference is not subtle. It's the difference between eating to heal and eating to confuse the system. Next, we'll examine another food pairing that seems harmless, even wholesome, but quietly disarms the power of blueberries from the inside out: dairy. Let's explore what happens when nature's fruit meets nature's milk, and why the result may be anything but natural. There's a ritual so common in wellness circles that it's rarely questioned: a bowl of Greek yogurt topped with fresh blueberries. It looks healthy, it feels balanced, protein, probiotics, antioxidants all in one spoon, and yet, hidden beneath this seemingly perfect pairing lies a quiet conflict between compounds, a nutritional clash that blunts the very benefits seniors seek when they reach for blueberries in the first place. Dairy and blueberries are not enemies, but when consumed together, their chemistry is mismatched, and it all begins with polyphenols. Blueberries contain powerful polyphenols, specifically anthocyanins, that give them their rich blue color and their therapeutic strength. These polyphenols are anti-inflammatory, vasoprotective, and neurosupportive. They lower oxidative stress, improve memory, and support cardiovascular resilience. But to do all that, they must be absorbed through the gut wall and delivered into the bloodstream in their active form. Enter dairy. Milk and yogurt are rich in proteins, especially casein and whey, and in minerals like calcium. These components are beneficial on their own. But when combined with polyphenol-rich fruits, studies show they can significantly reduce the bioavailability of those antioxidants. How? Through a process known as binding. Casein proteins have a natural affinity for polyphenols. When they encounter anthocyanins in the digestive tract, they form complexes, molecular bonds that prevent the polyphenols from being fully absorbed. In effect, the dairy locks up the antioxidants and carries them out of the body unused. The nutrients are still present in your food, but your cells never get to experience their benefits. This effect is particularly concerning for seniors, where every antioxidant counts. As the body ages, oxidative stress increases, mitochondrial efficiency declines, inflammation rises, especially in the brain, joints, and cardiovascular system. Blueberries, when consumed properly, offer a shield against this slow degeneration. But if their potency is neutralized by dairy, that shield is lowered. Then there's the impact on hormonal health. The aging body depends on plant compounds to regulate cortisol, balance blood sugar, and support melatonin rhythms. Blueberry polyphenols have been shown to lower cortisol levels, reduce the stress response, and improve sleep architecture. But when consumed with dairy, especially high calcium dairy, these benefits are diminished. Some research suggests that excess calcium, particularly from fortified dairy, may blunt melatonin production and interfere with magnesium absorption, further destabilizing sleep and stress recovery in older adults. What makes this interaction even more insidious is its cultural acceptance. Blueberry yogurt is marketed as a health food, often placed in front of seniors looking to eat clean, control weight, or improve digestion, but most commercial versions are laced with added sugars, preservatives, and flavorings on top of the dairy polyphenol interaction. It's a triple hit: disrupted absorption, spiked insulin, and compromised gut function. The solution is not to avoid dairy altogether, it's to time it wisely. If you enjoy dairy, allow a buffer of 2 to 3 hours between dairy intake and polyphenol-rich fruits like blueberries. This gives your digestive system a chance to process one class of compounds before introducing another. Alternatively, choose non-dairy pairings such as almond yogurt, oat milk smoothies, or chia pudding. Plant-based alternatives lack the casein binding issue and allow blueberries' healing compounds to be fully expressed. Another tip: add a source of fat. Polyphenols are fat soluble, meaning they're better absorbed in the presence of healthy fats. A few walnuts, flax seeds, or a drizzle of nut butter can help deliver those antioxidants deeper into your system, where they can nourish the brain, protect your vessels, and soothe your nervous system. Because again, it's not just what you eat, it's how your body receives it. When blueberries are isolated, they speak clearly to your cells. When entangled in dairy, their message becomes muffled. And for seniors, where clarity, balance, and inflammation control are essential, this difference matters. In the next section, we'll turn to a less obvious but equally important pairing: the interaction between blueberries and iron-rich foods. What you're about to learn may change how you time your supplements and your meals forever. Among the more subtle but clinically significant food interactions, the combination of blueberries with iron-rich meals stands as one of the most misunderstood. Iron is essential, no question. It supports red blood cell production, oxygen transport, and cellular energy. But iron, like fire, is a powerful force. It can sustain life or scorch it, depending on how it's handled. And when it meets the delicate polyphenols inside blueberries, the result may not be what most expect. The issue is not the presence of iron itself, but its form and its timing. There are two major types of dietary iron: heme iron, found in animal products like red meat, liver, and poultry, and non-heme iron, found in plant foods and supplements. Heme iron is more bioavailable, but also more reactive. In the body, iron doesn't float around freely. It's tightly bound and regulated. But when high iron foods are consumed with antioxidant-rich fruits like blueberries, there's an interaction at the molecular level that can flip the benefits. Blueberries contain polyphenols, particularly anthocyanins and flavonoids, which have antioxidant properties. These compounds donate electrons to neutralize free radicals, reducing oxidative stress. But in the presence of unbound iron, especially heme iron or supplemental iron, those same polyphenols can become oxidized themselves, generating reactive oxidant species. In effect, the antioxidants become pro-oxidants. This paradox, though rarely discussed in mainstream wellness circles, has been observed in laboratory and human studies. The polyphenol-iron interaction results in lower antioxidant absorption and, in some cases, a net increase in oxidative activity, particularly in the gut. For older adults, this is especially concerning because the aging digestive system is already more permeable and less efficient at detoxifying reactive compounds. Oxidative stress is no small issue. It accelerates cellular aging, impairs mitochondrial function, and triggers chronic inflammation. It's linked to cognitive decline, cardiovascular disease, and degenerative joint conditions. Seniors need every ounce of antioxidant support to buffer against this tide. So when blueberries are consumed at the same time as a high iron meal, say steak with a side of berry compote or blueberries blended into an iron fortified protein shake, some of their most protective properties may be lost or reversed. But the impact isn't limited to oxidation alone. Iron also competes with polyphenols for absorption pathways. When eaten together, iron can inhibit the uptake of certain flavonoids, essentially crowding them out in the intestinal lining. This reduces the concentration of polyphenols that reach circulation, brain tissue, and other target sites like the heart or liver. For seniors managing anemia, this creates a unique dilemma. Iron is often prescribed or supplemented to restore hemoglobin, but when taken with blueberries, either in meals or smoothies, the therapeutic effect of both substances may be compromised. Iron becomes less efficient, and the blueberries lose their antioxidant edge. So what can be done? The solution lies in separation. Allow 2 to 3 hours between consuming blueberries and high iron meals or supplements. Take your iron with vitamin C-rich foods, which improve absorption, and reserve your blueberries for times when they can act uninterrupted. Early morning or mid-afternoon is ideal when cortisol begins to taper and the body is more receptive to antioxidant signaling. It's also worth remembering that not all plant foods with iron cause this issue. Non-heme iron in spinach or legumes is less reactive and tends to interact more gently with polyphenols. The most problematic pairings occur with red meats, organ meats, and iron supplements, especially when taken in liquid or fast-absorbing forms. Timing is not a trivial detail. It's a form of nutritional intelligence. For seniors who are managing complex systems of repair, regulation, and recovery, this awareness can transform how food supports health. Blueberries are extraordinary. They reduce brain inflammation, improve vascular tone, and regulate blood sugar. But like any natural therapy, their power depends on when and how they are used. Next, we'll tie everything together and explore how to maximize the healing potential of blueberries, not just by avoiding the wrong pairings, but by choosing the right ones at the right time. Let's talk synergy, absorption, and daily rhythm in our final section. Blueberries are not just fruit, they are a botanical pharmacy packed with bioactive compounds that communicate with your brain, blood vessels, and immune cells. They reduce oxidative stress, enhance memory, support metabolic balance, and help the body resist the quiet inflammation that accumulates with age. But their power isn't automatic. It depends on context, on how, when, and with what they're consumed. And now that you understand the hidden dangers of mixing blueberries with artificial sweeteners, dairy, or high iron meals, it's time to explore how to unlock their full therapeutic potential. The first step is timing. Blueberries should be eaten during windows when the body is primed to absorb and use their nutrients. One of the best times? Morning, specifically 30 to 60 minutes after waking, when cortisol begins to taper and the digestive system has cleared the metabolic waste from the night. At this time, your gut lining is more receptive and your body's antioxidant defense systems are ramping up for the day. Consuming blueberries alone or with compatible companions allows their polyphenols to be absorbed cleanly. Another optimal window is the mid-afternoon slump around 2 to 4 p.m. This is when many seniors experience a natural dip in energy, focus, and blood sugar stability. A small bowl of blueberries during this period, paired with a few almonds or walnuts, can stabilize glucose, support cognitive clarity, and prepare the body for a smoother hormonal transition into the evening. What about synergy? Certain foods actually enhance the benefits of blueberries. For example, healthy fats such as walnuts, flax seeds, or chia not only increase satiety, but also improve the absorption of fat-soluble compounds like vitamin K and certain flavonoids. These pairings help polyphenols reach deeper tissues, including the brain and vascular endothelium, where they do their most important work Fiber is another ally. When blueberries are paired with soluble fibers, such as those found in oats, chia seeds, or avocado, the absorption of sugar slows, and the fermentation of fiber by gut bacteria produces short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which reduce inflammation in the colon. This interaction also improves insulin sensitivity, critical for older adults managing blood sugar and hormonal balance. But perhaps the most important variable is mindfulness, not in a spiritual sense, but in a biological one. Eating in a relaxed state, away from screen stress or distraction, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as the rest and digest mode. This increases digestive enzyme release, improves blood flow to the gut, and enhances nutrient absorption. When you eat blueberries in this state, their benefits are magnified. When you eat under stress, their value is diminished. And avoid combining blueberries with artificial sweeteners, sucralose, aspartame, dairy, yogurt, milk, iron-rich meals or supplements. Pair blueberries with healthy fats, walnuts, almonds, flax seeds, plant-based yogurts or smoothies, almond, oat, coconut. Soluble fiber, oats, chia, ground flax, polyphenol boosters, cinnamon, turmeric, green tea. Eat alone or in small meals, away from high iron or dairy-based dishes. Ideal windows, morning or mid-afternoon. State of mind, sit down, chew slowly. Let your body absorb the medicine you're offering. This is not about fear, it's about precision. After 60, the body still listens, but it listens more carefully. It no longer tolerates chaotic combinations or nutrient noise. It wants clarity, it wants synergy, it wants healing. Blueberries can still be a cornerstone of your diet. Your memory, your arteries, and your immune cells depend on their rich chemistry, but let them work alone or with allies, not in battle with conflicting foods. Because the truth is, every bite we take sends a signal. It either calms the system or disrupts it. It either opens the door to healing or delays it another day. And when you align your choices with your biology, the results are not subtle. They are transformative. The wisdom is there. Now the choice is yours.